A powerful, emotional, fact-based story blending both the Heysel and Hillsborough tragedies. Football, the beautiful game, but some days it turns into a nightmare. Not because of a red card, a missed penalty, or a shocking defeat, but because people go to watch a match and never return home. Today we remember the two darkest days in football history. Days that didn't just change the game, they changed lives forever. It was supposed to be a night to remember. The date was May 29, 1985, and the football world was buzzing with anticipation. The European Cup final between Liverpool and Juventus was set to be a historic match. Thousands of fans had traveled to Brussels, Belgium, to see their teams fight for the ultimate glory in European club football. But what should have been a night of celebration soon descended into chaos. The Heysel Stadium, located in the heart of Brussels, was far from being a state-of-the-art arena. It was old, run down, and ill-equipped to handle the massive crowds of fans pouring in from all directions. The stadium's design wasn't built for the security or safety of modern crowds, and that would prove to be a fatal flaw. As tensions began to rise, the situation escalated quickly. A group of Liverpool fans, many of them not seated where they should have been, surged forward, and with nowhere else to go, they clashed with Juventus supporters. A few seconds later, a frenzied panic spread throughout the stadium. A part of the wall separating the two sets of fans collapsed, and fans were trapped in the rubble, fighting for their lives. It's hard to imagine the horror that unfolded in those moments, but what followed was a scene of pure carnage. Panic, chaos, confusion. Fans rushed to help, but there was little that could be done. 39 people were killed in the disaster, many of them Juventus supporters, while over 600 others were injured. The match continued despite the tragedy. Juventus won 1-0, but there were no celebrations. The victory felt empty as the reality of what had happened set in. This disaster led to an immediate shift in football's view on fan safety. English football clubs were banned from European competitions for 5 years, and Liverpool were banned for 6. For many, the memory of Heysel has been a constant reminder that for the sport to survive and thrive, safety must come first. If you've been watching the video so far, do not forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Just 4 years later, the world would be shocked again by another tragedy. The Hillsborough disaster on April 15, 1989 took place at Hillsborough Stadium in Sheffield, England, during an FA Cup semi-final between Liverpool and Nottingham Forest. The day began like any other football match. Thousands of fans poured into the stadium, eagerly anticipating a thrilling contest between two historic clubs. But as kickoff approached, disaster was already unfolding. The stadium was far from perfect. It had a design that forced fans to funnel into narrow, overcrowded areas. One of the most problematic sections was the Leppings Lane end, where Liverpool fans were located. The authorities, trying to manage the crowd outside the gates, made a tragic decision that would have fatal consequences. They opened a gate to allow people in, unaware that the standing area inside was already packed beyond capacity. What happened next was unimaginable. The sudden surge of people entering the already overcrowded section created a deadly situation. Fans were crushed against the metal fences, unable to move or escape. The weight of the crowd was so overwhelming that many suffocated or were trampled. The screams for help were drowned out by the deafening noise of panic. The players on the pitch could see the chaos unfolding in the stands, unsure of what to do as their game became secondary to the unfolding disaster. 96 people lost their lives that day, many of them young men, some as young as 10 or 11. The rest of the world was left in shock, struggling to comprehend how something so tragic could happen at a football match. What followed was a battle for justice. For years, the authorities tried to shift the blame onto the fans, claiming they were responsible for the disaster. But the truth eventually came out. In 2016, after years of legal battles, an independent jury found that the 96 victims were unlawfully killed and that the fans were not to blame. The police's failures, overcrowding, and lack of proper safety measures were the true culprits. The families of the victims fought tirelessly to clear the names of their loved ones, and eventually, justice was served. Hillsborough left an indelible mark in football, not just in England, but around the world. The disaster led to sweeping changes in how stadiums were designed. The introduction of all-seater stadiums became mandatory, and standing terraces were banned across the country. The Taylor report published in the aftermath called for safer stadiums and better policing, and it was a wake-up call for football authorities everywhere. While football has changed since those dark days, the legacy of Heysel and Hillsborough is one that can never be erased. They were a tragic reminder of the importance of fan safety and proper management in football. The stadiums, the security and safety measures, all of these factors are what allow us to enjoy the sport today. Since then, football has become safer. Stadiums have been rebuilt with modern fans in mind, incorporating better crowd control measures and emergency exits. New technologies have improved safety, and the welfare of fans has taken center stage, but none of this would have happened without the lessons learned from those dark days. Still, we must never forget the people who lost their lives in those days. Every time we sit in a stadium, cheer for our team, or watch a match on TV, we need to remember that behind every goal, every celebration, and every victory, there are human lives. And it is because of those lives that we have the football we know and love today. These two disasters, Heysel and Hillsborough, were just 4 years apart. Both involved Liverpool, both left deep scars, but both also forced football to change. Today, stadiums are safer, crowd control is tighter, standing areas are regulated, fan welfare is prioritized. But the pain? It still lingers. For the families, the survivors, the fans who still carry the weight of those days. So next time you watch a game, cheer for your team, or chant in the stands, remember those who didn't make it home. They're part of football's story too. The next time you watch a match, think about the importance of safety, not just for players, but for the fans who make the sport what it is. Remember, it's not just about winning the game. Sometimes the real victory is ensuring that everyone goes home safe. If this story moved you, share it. Let people know the truth. Subscribe for more real football stories that the world should never forget.